Hi, I'm Mr. Zorn, and this is the Conversions Lab. In this activity, we're going to be looking at 4 different materials, and we're going to be doing various conversions with them. So I'm going to begin with a graduated cylinder, and I'm going to measure out 25 milliliters of distilled water in my graduated cylinder here. I have an aluminum can made of, you guessed it, aluminum. I have a packet of sugar, same sugar you would put in your coffee. And I have a pre-1981 copper penny. All the pennies made before 1981 were made completely of copper. Pennies since then have been made a little differently, and they contain other things, but pre-1981 made completely of copper. So for this lab, we are going to be using glassware, and that is this graduated cylinder. So we're going to want to make sure that we have our safety goggles on when we're working with glassware. Really the only thing you need for this lab, other than the materials, is a balance and a weigh boat for the sugar. So we're going to begin by taking our balance and turning it on. And once the balance turns on, you'll get the firmware code, and then you will get 00. There's a possibility your balance may not read 00. In either case, it's good practice to go ahead and press the 0 button, okay, and that will zero out our balance. Okay. Next, let's go ahead and let's take our penny and place that on the balance, okay, and read out our mass. For our aluminum can, we'll simply place it on the balance as we did with the penny. So next, we're going to do our sugar. So we're not going to just want to pour our sugar onto the balance itself, because that's going to be a huge mess. We're going to put our sugar into the weigh boat. So there's a problem if you just put the sugar in the weigh boat and then put the weigh boat onto the scale, because we're going to end up with the mass of both the weigh boat and the sugar. We want the mass of just the sugar. So first, let's go ahead and put our weigh boat on the balance. And mine's reading out 2.14. I'm going to press the button to zero this out. So the way the balance works is anything additional that's added, it's going to take the mass of that. So let's go ahead and let's open up our sugar packet and pour it into the balance. Okay, so now I have a mass reading. And the mass reading that I'm getting here is just the sugar. It's not the weigh boat as well. Now, just like with the sugar, we're not going to want to just pour water onto the balance. We wouldn't be able to get a reading that way. We're going to be using a graduated cylinder. And same type of problem that we ran into with the sugar, we don't want to pour the water into the graduated cylinder and then put it on the balance. We're going to need to know how much the mass of the graduated cylinder is. So first, go ahead and take a reading of that. Right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up my bottle here. Okay, and then I'm going to, when I get close, maybe go down table level and read the meniscus. I want to have exactly, or as close as possible, to 25 milliliters. So I am right about there. Chemistry teachers can eyeball this. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and place this on the balance. When you go to do your calculations, you're going to want to subtract the mass of the graduated cylinder from the mass of the graduated cylinder with the water, and that will give you the mass of just the water. As far as cleanup goes, we're going to make sure that our balance is unplugged and all of our materials are put back the way we found them. So when it's time to clean up our area, we are going to first begin by unplugging our balance. The water that's in your graduated cylinder can simply go down the drain. Don't drink it. The sugar that is in our weigh boats can go in the trash. And then we want to make sure that everything is put away the way we found it for the next class. After we're done with the lab, we're going to make sure that we go over to the sink and wash our hands with soap and water, and then we can take our goggles off. Proper lab safety is important. Again, my name is Mr. Zorn, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video on the Conversions Lab.